actually laid there to make our Wi-Fi. And there's 12 strands of fibre in this protective coating, but that is a strand of fibre, and you can hardly see it. If you take the plastic coating off that strand, you get your little tiny glass fibre, and the actual bit that does the work is an even thinner strand inside a glass core. So that is your fibre to the home, that's all it is. It's not expensive cable. That bit can be blown through a ducting, or you can lay this what we lay. This is protecting stuff. You can lay it in water, you can lay it through the sky. If you can't lay your fibre, you can use wireless. There's people like Dominic with solutions, there's people like Guy with solutions. So you can do a Wi-Fi. So if your community is miles and miles away from the next, and one community's got a fibre feed, in the interim you can do a wireless link to it, and then if you want to, you can then replace that with a fibre solution. What I don't suggest anybody does is one copper pairs together, because that isn't future-proof. If you can't get a decent feed through your BT connection, think about a community solution, because all I can say is all I am is a farmer's wife. I've no technical skills, I'm not clever, I'm not geeky, and if I can do it, any of you can do it. And it's not that hard, and there's a lot of help available, especially on the Broadband Cumbria site and the Fibre Stream below, Next Genus, Cyberwar, our site, when at CIC. We run a community interest company supplying broadband commercially to 23 properties who can't get any broadband at all. We can't get satellite because we've tried satellite. We had a satellite for 3 years and fed it through. The satellite couldn't feed that many people. And they can't get their own satellites because of south-facing hills. The same people can't get mobile broadband either. So they are a real not spot. They are a little bit in Yorkshire, a little bit in Cumbria, a little bit in Lancashire, they're fed from the Cumbrian Exchange at Kirby Lonsdale. I'm also, that's a community network that we have built ourselves. I'm also involved in a living lab in the closest village to my house, which is Ray. So we work with Lancaster University, and we supply free Wi-Fi to the whole village if they want it. The feed we currently get is adequate for about 20, maybe 30 people. When we first put it in, it was adequate for the whole village. That was in 2004. But in 2005, some bright spark invented YouTube, and then iPlayer came along, and we've quickly found that we haven't got the capacity to serve all the customers. We couldn't get any more feed at the time, and so we sort of limped along with some of the villagers on ADSL who can get it, and the rest on the Wi-Fi network. But we found that virtually 90% now of the village are now online and using it, and they're all screaming if it goes off. The equipment is now 5-6 years old, and it's starting to tire. We're now building the second generation wireless network in the village, and it's being fed with fibre. The fibre feed is 100 meg symmetrical, again from Lancaster University, who are paying for it all, and that will be fed through the second generation mesh boxes, which will supply 20 meg symmetrical to all the villagers. This will be free because it's a research project for the Living Lab. It will be free for a year. At the end of the year, we want to take over that network, so instead of it just being turned off, the village itself will pay for the feed. The transit to get from the Ray village to the university, where the feed is 14,000 a year. With 200 houses in the village, so we've got 180 or so on our net, would be wanting to go on a broadband network. We want to marry the two networks together, so we marry the commercial network, who are already paying £25 a month, 2 meg symmetrical, to the Ray network, run them together as a CIC company, and keep that network. If there's a chance of a digital village come, which is what we've got, ours is an expensive digital village pump. If we could get a digital village pump from a community supplier, we wouldn't have that 14,000 a year transit to pay. We would only have a smaller charge for transit and then our backhaul on top. Our backhaul, the actual fee to the internet, will cost us about £6,000 a year. So for £20,000 a year, we're getting a 20 meg symmetrical service through the village, supplied by a 100 meg symmetrical fibre feed. Time's up. Have I got any questions? Or is time really up?
It is, because the...
Okay, time's really up. If anybody wants to take a little bit of fibre home with them, I'll break them a bit off. So you come and see me afterwards, or ask me any questions you want. But if they don't get me off, I'll still be here at 2 o'clock.